Very good afternoon. I think I see a few of my friends as well standing there. So, thank you for putting me across to Huddle. Huddle was a great event. I loved the scenic view. I've been to Trivandrum many times, but only to the airport. So, not seen Trivandrum, but it's a great place to be. So, I'll just quickly start up with the expectation to be set. So, I'm Alex Pavan. I am the chief of staff for Ignyte. Ignyte is a tech platform by the government of Dubai, especially trying to have more startups globally coming into UAE and GCC. That's the prime objective, right? So I don't know how much you know about the GCC market. I think the last session was more towards Japan, Taiwan, and everybody. But there is a close relationship between Kerala and Middle East, right? So almost, I think it's your second home. That's where most of the startup tend to get most of the opportunity. And I have been in the region for more than a decade. And me being called Alex, it's very obvious that they relate saying that, hey, Malayaliano. The first thing comes that. Then I started learning. I said, then where are you from? Okay, then Natalevada. Then I'll say Palakkad. So I just learned through my, general acumen because it has been a major part of our life. We know the food culture. We know the people culture. So, and I think we also know the startup culture, right? With Ignyte, with the startup mission, our objective is very clear. We are very simple. We know that the globe wants to come to Dubai, right? I think it's become like a destination where somewhere will say, I want to go to Singapore, I want to go to Dubai at one point of time. And this is what is happening within the startup ecosystem as well. So Ignyte is a program by the highest level of Dubai itself. It falls under the AI Ministry of Dubai. And it is based out of DIFC. So DIFC is our, I would say, the parent company, which is the funding company, which I think most of them know that if any fintech globally wants to come to Dubai, DIFC is a space where they would like to come in, right? So our agenda for today is just to let you know what are the potentials and how you should be looking at Dubai as a market or UAE as a market or GCC as a market and how Ignyte can help you with that. That's the whole objective which I look at. So I was just reading an interesting article which states that Dubai is going to be the biggest hub for startups by 2026 by McKinsey, right? We are looking at a $2 billion fund, fast growing fund, only for startups. There is a very interesting article just released 2 days back that you can get your company formation in 120 minutes and your visa in 24 hours. That's Dubai for you, right? So I was just talking to a gentleman a few minutes back. He said, I've been traveling to Dubai for the last 25 years. If you know Sheikh Zayed Road in Dubai, it was nothing. Now today Sheikh Zayed Road is like, it's a 30 minutes to 40 minutes drive from one place to another. People get mesmerized because they're not able to see the top of the building yet. That's how Dubai has grown. And that's the growth which we want to give the ecosystem of startups in the country as well, and especially for the Kerala startups, right? So, just to move ahead, I think I've done my introduction. So what do we do generally is we try to connect, give you market access, access to funds, access to mentors. If you see the last session which we had the VCs, right? Most of the VCs have their own theses of investment. Similarly, most of the startups have their own theses of growing, right? So we want to match the startups, the VCs, the angel investors, the right mentors, and different type of market access as well, right? So why are we doing this? Basically, we want to ensure that startups, when they come to Dubai, most of them have a common question with me, like, how do I do my company formation? Where is the best place to start a company? Which industry is best for what? Can I get access to Saudi Arabia if I'm doing here? You know why? Because almost, I've spoken to about 50 to 60 startups from morning. Almost every alternative startup here has done or talked to some other opportunity in Dubai or in GCC today. So as a platform, we're just looking at how we want to take it to the next level. So if you see generally, 7 out of 10 startups struggle to find the right investors. We are a platform by the government, proper EKYC for every startup coming in, every investors who come in, every type of mentor goes through a high level of EKYC. It's like getting your driving license in Dubai. You just don't pass at one shot. You have to learn, you have to train, you have to go to the process and then get into the platform. That's what we are providing to most of the startups across. See, 80% of the startup founders struggle with stress. I don't know how many people are really looking at. Our mentors are not only mentors telling you how to raise funds, how to grow your business, or how to get opportunities. They're also mentors who will tell you, because I was speaking to a gentleman last week and he was telling the biggest struggle for a startup is because startup founders are lonely most of the time, right? So we look at all aspects of a startup when it comes into our platform, right? A very interesting thing is when you look at founders, co-founders, right? Is usually your close friend, you met him in his office, he's a good colleague, or you both sit across and have a founders, right? But when you say the success rate in the US, the founder, co-founders are different culture. They come with different mindset. So for the founders here, I'm also telling that you need to find your co-founder who is completely different, who thinks to grow the company and make the company bigger. I think the last statement said was, a lot of them bet on the jockey, not the horse, right? That's the whole point. So you need to find that access rightly, and that's what is the initiative of the whole Dubai government itself, right? It's not only about getting funds, or it is not only about getting opportunities, it's also being a part of the whole race and winning the race, right? So if you see the early stage deals, I don't know how many of you have gone through a cycle. I've been living that for a couple of years, and I've been moderating a lot of deals. The early stage deals are usually the most shaking deals, because you do not know what you want. You think by putting on an Excel sheet or, some by saying, okay, this is my marketing cost, this is my sales cost, my tech development, my capital, my GTM, and you arrive at a number and you start asking for it. And when you say, well, how much % of equity you want to give, that is also through a guesstimation. Okay, we two are founders, we have 50%, family friends 3%, so you just go with another percentage, right? So most of the mistakes are made during the early stage, okay? And those mistakes are ones which we also help within our ecosystem. When a deal happens, we don't facilitate the deal, we only ensure the deals are right. It's very important to make sure your deals go perfectly right. So this is something as a platform we will do, so that the dilemma of a startup is very, very different, right? So it is going to be by 2030, most of them will become startups, right? Almost if you see people who are working today are also always thinking, what can I do next? So it's an habitual thing I've been seeing. If you see a small pop-up stand, I think it's easy to put up 3 more pop-up stands, right? Let me start a small side business. This is a very common thing. How many of you would say, hey, it is better to have a tea shop at least? That is what starts as an entrepreneur within you, That's the starting point, and that's where you'll have to look at the access point of it. So I'm just going to put across a few launches. So the dream of Dubai, to make it successful, we are looking at 100,000 startups. It was being announced on October 22nd by His Highness Sheikh Hamdan. And we are also looking to boost a complete digital platform where we are doing associations and tie-ups, not only with Kerala Mission, with also global like US, UK, China, all the countries, giving them access to the country. Like always G2G deals work well, but we are believers that this is the channel, tech is the channel for everybody to happen, and Ignyte is the channel for that, okay? And like I said, after the initiation, we have got flooded with startups. I mean, like somebody said, you'll get a lot of LinkedIn requests. I think the whole team were like getting requests. But we re-ensured that everybody was answered, everybody was taken care, because I think that was the first motto to start a whole platform from the government of Dubai. Correct? So what is Ignyte now? So Ignyte is basically a platform where it is not only a tech event. When you come to Dubai, you become a part of Ignyte as a platform, as a startup. You want to do a small event, for example. You want to promote your product. You want to talk to people. You want to know what is the culture, right? It's as good as that. So we give you that cultural experience within the Ignyte as a platform, right? So we connect, we do the networking, we have one-on-one sessions, and I'm a person who believes that you should take mentorship with global mentors, because that is the key access for you to run through the whole ecosystem, right? So we also have 250 plus perks in the platform. Everybody knows, right? You have AWS, which I think even Startup Mission is giving you where $10,000. So we have a $25,000 packet on it. We have Azure, we have Google, we have, say, Autodesk, we have Apollo.io, DocuSign. You name it, we have it. Next couple of months, we'll have Emirates as well. So at least you can have your trip to Dubai with certain percentage of points or savings, right? So what we have understood is all these startups want to save, correct? The first thing when startup plans is, he says, where do I save money, right? So giving access to the right setup itself is a saving, right? So a lot of AI-based startups have been calling us saying, can you provide GPUs, for example? So we worked towards it. We started working with HP. We started working with Oracle. We started working with, some local private GPU providers who are giving GPUs to our AI-based startups so that they can do the high-level computing as well, right? This is only possible because we already have that government-level tie-up with all the marketplace guys, and that will help to grow much more faster, right? And the best part of it is we have all international VCs. Our VCs are listed. Like, I don't know if you know, Etisalat in UAE, it's called E&. They are one of our VCs. Emirates NBD is a VC. We have Antler, who does founder-based. So we have very, Antler is one of our VCs who clearly does not believe on products. He just takes the right founders and co-founders only. He will give you the co-founder, he will do the founder, he'll run you to the program. That is also important, right? So there are different type of VCs on different stages as well. We have angels, we have seed, we have pre-seed, A, B, C, D. We have all type of funds available within the whole ecosystem. Like I said, you can pitch to any of your ecosystem partners, talk to them, get the best access towards it. So if you see, we have thousands of startups. We have now currently about 2723 startups is what I saw the last number before coming in. We look at touching 10,000 startups by end of next year, okay? And I don't want this to be like a sales pitch, to be honest. It's not a sales pitch. The whole concept of having more startup is that you understand whom you're competing with. You need to move out of I always say, once you move out of your safe zone, you'll understand what is risk taking, right? You have to invest and try to see where you have to rightly be. That is the plus point which we are trying to give most of the ecosystem. So we have booked 100 hours, I was just checking that we have about 101 mentors. There is no slot for next 2 months actually. So I was just having with the mentorship team saying that, how do we not increase the mentorship, but do quality mentorship, right? We can get any number of mentors. Like say, we have the CEO of Microsoft of the region in our platform. We have like the real cultural experience, not only, the mentors are not only from UAE, they're across like from US, founders, co-founders, people working in say big VC firms, people who have done exits, people who have failed and became famous. So there are a lot of people who have failed and become famous also, right? The continuous failing tells you what I should not be doing is also an experience which we want to give to our startups, right? So every year, as an initiative from Ignyte, you will see that Dubai is a place for events, right? You believe that, like, whoever goes to Dubai, they will go to this purpose of having all type of events. So when I say Jitex, for example, it was like a Kumbh Mela. Trust me. I don't know what people are doing. People are pushing each other. And after Bombay, there's the first place I saw in Metro where Metro is there and I had to stand in queue below, down. And every person who I asked, did you gain anything out of it? So he said, I don't know what I gained, but the experience is good. You know? So the outcome was there were 1,800 startups exhibiting, including Kerala startups were also there. Then you had all the states from India were there. Then you had global startups like Finland, Poland, US, Greece, China, Vietnam, Japan, everybody putting in their startups. So everybody brings their startups and do events, right? So similarly, we also have events like Dubai FinTech Summit. We have AI Web3 Summit. We have the sustainability event, which is on the 3rd and 4th, which is coming in. And for every event, we have a pitch day. We have an investor day. We have, like sustainability, we have something called as Pitch World Cup. So where we'll give you live, people look at it, they'll award you, they'll work with you. So all these events, we want to give access to all the startups who are registered with our platform. Why? Because I have seen a lot of startups here. Majorly, they start, if it's a tech, they work completely into tech. If they are into a product, they work into the product. That the marketing or the event side of it is very, very minimal in our ecosystem. Complete India I'm talking about. Very few know that I need to be in front of my customer. I need to be in front of my competitors. I need to be in front of the audience who I can tell what my product is. You're not creating an audience most of the time, right? Globally, when I see other startups across the globe, even a startup will say, I need to have some marketing fund. I need to have an event fund, right? So we are giving access to events which are physical and virtual as well. We also encourage our startups to create your own events as well. You don't need to come to us, go to the platform, create your event, invite whom you want to invite. It's a live event across, just run it through. So this is something which we are giving across the ecosystem as well. So what you get also is a brand exposure. Like say, whenever we onboard any startup and investor or mentor in our platform, we do proper eKYC. So whenever you register with us and when you're trying to pitch in for an opportunity with say any public sector accounts or any of your customers in the region, if you say that you're part of DIFC, you're a part of Ignyte, people tend to recognize because we are a well-known name, we are a regulated authority, all the data within us is completely vetted and tested by a set of professionals so that, Varun, my colleague, always says, it takes a lot of time for getting a clearance of document because we do take the time to ensure there is authenticity in the whole process as such, right? So that is the ecosystem which we are trying to give you all together, right? So if you see the logos on the right side are all the startups which are already within our ecosystem. Some are physically also present. They have started their startups there. You would have seen the trend, right? A lot of startups moving to Dubai, especially like say gaming or crypto or Web3. I can see now the drone-based companies and moving to Dubai because better access to market, better access to funds, better aspects to growth life, and the most important thing is the quality of life. See, at the end of the day, that's the key part of a startup culture, right? You have to have a quality of life to move there. So all these startups which you see on the right-hand side are already with us, and most of them, they get lucky and they get funded within the same ecosystem itself, right? Like I said, we have hundreds of offers within the platform. Nothing much to detail about it. But I'm telling you, once you get a habit of taking access to these perks, you'll keep taking regularly. This is what I have seen. The perks which we are trying to get is all government to government perks, which you might or will not get outside the platform. Some, yes, like AWS or Google, for sure, you still will have that facility. But there are specific, say, we have some vendors who are law firms. We have some vendors who do corporate legality. How many of a startup can really look at a contract and tell me that, okay, this is a good contract, let me go and sign? These type of services are very, very important. Say financial services. If you want to do a VAT filing in UAE, you started a company, right? You will just, it's not like here you go to a chartered accountant and say, hey, do this for me, right? You can take the services online, you can execute things within the platform, right? So these, other than the products, there are also entities which we have set up so that we will be able to run through faster. So we are also connecting investors to startups. Like I said, once you go into the platform, you can quickly look at different types of investors who are available within the platform. Every day it's growing. Today we have touched 100 investors in the morning. We will have 1,000 investors within the platform. Any startup can pitch to any investor within the platform. We don't do deals. We are not deal-making organization. It's a VC's job or the investor's job. But we ensure it is facilitated properly. What do you mean by facilitation is, if a startup puts a request for an investment, it is a right for a VC to give him a time or reject it properly and say, hey, you're not the right fit for me. Usually most of the platform, people keep on pitching and investing and there is no response. They'll come back saying, hey, what's happening? So we ensure that any pitch which is going on, we need to authenticate it. Vice versa for investors also. We had few startups who went on pitching for all the 100 VCs. Didn't check whether it's an angel or a seed A or seed B, just went on pitching. See, we tell the startups, we educate the startups as well, saying, hey guys, we need to have some premium in it, right? We also help them manage the pitches. We also help them accelerate the pitches, right? Sometimes, most of the deals, good deals, happen through storytelling, narration, oration, right? However great you are, you need to build that acumen within the ecosystem, and that's what we are trying to provide as a platform to everybody. So like I said, we have network, we have pitch, we do every week a event. You can come to Dubai, host your events. We don't charge for physical spaces. You have 40 people, you want to host an event. If you come and do it, it's easily a $10,000 to $15,000 matter, right? Why we are trying to do all this is something I just wanted to explain. This is not an incubator, accelerator, or a cohort. Please keep that in your mind. It is access to the region. We want the startups. It's not about whether you're successful or you're going to suffer or how do you work. It is to give you an opportunity to try to be successful. What does a startup need to try to be successful is what I keep always thinking with my team. That is what we are doing. See, I've been an entrepreneur as well before. Exited. If you ask me successfully, I don't know yet. So what I would have got maximum is one house in India. I don't know if it's successful or not successful. But the measure for startup is very different because it's your self-satisfaction, right? And there is a multiple access points which you have to do. And that's something which we are trying to quickly give you. Right? So we have startups, we have investors, we have mentors, we have vendors and corporates. Very, very important is, from the next year, we're going to make startup as a vendor. I don't know if you know the UAE concept. UAE has announced that 20% of their public sector tenders which need startups will go to startups. Globally startups, not only born in UAE. Any startup, even without a trade license, without an establishment can apply. So you will be able to bid for government-related requirements if it fits your need. Like if you're agri-tech and you're trying to bid on something on AI, for sure it's not going to happen. But we will do an AI match and reassure that you will be able to bid for these as a tenders. We're going to also have corporates in our platform. We are getting a lot of requests for corporates wanting to adopt startups, become investors, mentor them, give them the projects as funding. They don't give you money as funding. They'll say, I'll give you a project. I'll give you the payment milestone for that. You deliver with me continuously and we work with it. A classic example today is like, say, Dubai Ports or EN. They all have funds, and scouting, like startup, have trouble in finding opportunities. The enterprise has trouble in scouting startups. It's an issue both the sides. If you see big organization today like Nestle or GE or Siemens, they have a team of 30 to 40 people, which we will be trying to do scouting itself. So I'll just go. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. So how we're going to do this half an hour session is basically I'm going to share a bit of an introduction about who I am, what we do, and then introduce to our speaker, Mr. Kevin. So how many of you have been to Dubai in this room? Almost 50%, right? How many of you have somebody in Dubai, in the family or from your neighborhood? So there is no reason to explain why Dubai, right? The reason I've been in Dubai for last 10 years is because my sister was there for last 20 years. Before that, my dad was there. And I know that somebody in our family would definitely be there, right? One of my friend in Malappuram was asking me that in our family, there's a simple rule. If you clear 10th, then go ahead, study further. If you don't clear 10th, then go to Dubai and work. So there is no reason. I mean, like one of my very good friend, Mr. Ghanimal Falasi, says that this is our 15th district of Kerala, is Dubai, right? The best place to live in Kerala is actually Dubai. That's what he says. My name is Siby Sudhakaran. How many of you know that Kerala Startup Mission has an office, has a space in Dubai? How many have heard of Startup Infinity? All right, so I have the privilege that, I run Startup Infinity for Kerala Startup Mission in Dubai. Can we have that picture, please? So my presentation is basically two pictures, just to tell you that we are there already in Dubai. So this was June last year, June 18, 2023, when Pinarayi Vijayan sir came and inaugurated the Startup Infinity Center. The next picture is when we had the inaugural program at Taj Dubai Business Bay. So just to briefly tell you what Startup Infinity project of Kerala Startup Mission is, basically there is a physical space in Karama. Those who have been to Dubai know Karama, right? It's like kind of a heart of the city. So right across the diplomatic enclave where we have the consulates, there is a space of more than 2,000 square feet where we have 10 seats office of Kerala Startup Mission there. So any one of you who are planning to come to Dubai can use this space. All you need to do is register for free on startupinfinity.kerala.startupmission.in. That's all. You have to mention from when to when you are there and what is the purpose, and if there is any support that you require while you are being in Dubai, whether you are exploring your business, whether you are just here to understand the market. So that is one part of the facility that we have. And the second part is, of course, there is, many of the delegations who come for GITEX, different events, to facilitate them, okay? And the third part, which I'm not going to talk much about, is Global Alliance Kerala chapter, which is basically a network of NRI Keralites who have interest in investing in Kerala-based startups. So there is a group of 24 as on today who are ready, who are doing very well, businessmen, professionals in Dubai who are interested in investing in places in startups in Kerala. All right? So this is what we do. And as you know, you are aware that in terms of business entities, in terms of free zones, there are more than 20 to 25 such entities from government. For us, many of us know, for us, all in the room you would be knowing, but generally it is Dubai or it's Abu Dhabi, right? In the UAE. But it's a nation of 7 emirates. All we need to understand is which is the best place, which is the best entity, which is good for my company, where I can get maximum benefits from the government, where I can anchor my business. So there are out of 20, 25 entities who are very active in supporting such businesses. One among them is Quain, which is like, Quain has huge land bank on the highway where there is land available, there is 100% infrastructure available. I was quite surprised, being 10 years in Dubai, living, I've been visiting since my family was there, my only sibling is there. But for the first time when I visited UAQ, I came to know about what that entity is. And I'm really thankful that Kevin accepted my invitation to come to Kerala all the way. He's a Mumbai guy, but born and brought up, raised in UAQ. But on my invitation, he's here to speak about what Queen has to offer to us for startups who are looking at that particular Emirates in the UAE. So after this session also, we are here to talk about anything if you have any queries. And most importantly, my message was that, for Kerala Startup Mission, there is already an office and space in Dubai. And a lot of things, the infrastructure, which you can use for free because it is paid by the government in Dubai. All right? So to know more about that, we are here. And join me in welcoming Mr. Kevin. He has been with Queen government for over 7 years. And he's here for the next 15-20 minutes to speak about what Queen has to offer to all of us. Over to you.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you very much, Siby, for that warm welcome, and to Kerala Startup Mission for giving me this platform. I believe I was attending a few sessions, so I've seen that a lot of familiar talk on UAE and Dubai. So I will not. I'll just love to add to what our neighbors said earlier. So Queen, I have a small presentation to take you for. So Queen is an emirate that is roughly around 40 minutes away from Dubai. Is anyone familiar with Queen? I know Dubai. I saw all the hands go up for Dubai. Okay, all right. So we have some faces that have passed through Queen as well. Okay, so Queen's focus is mainly on industrial companies. So you heard the earlier talk from Alex about technology space, about AI, and most of the digital and tech-related companies space. What Queen has to offer is mainly for production-based companies, manufacturing, industrials. That is where we can add exceptional value. So I'll just start this presentation with a small video, and then we'll talk further.
When that destination is the UAE, you embark on a growth journey where every moment is filled with promise and potential. The UAE, a federation of 7 emirates, is a land of limitless opportunities where your aspirations are celebrated. This is all propelled by visionary leadership, which drives innovation and fosters growth. In this vibrant nation, the Emirate of Al Quwain is a hidden gem with a rich cultural heritage. Under the wise leadership of the ruler, the Emirate continues to flourish and grow, and a progressive vision for the future. Here, you can enjoy a family-friendly environment, a range of leisure activities, and a cosmopolitan culture. From memorable aqua adventures, exhilarating aerial activities to shopping and movie experiences, life at UAQ offers something for everyone. The Emirates' welcoming community and serene environment make it an ideal place to live, work, and thrive. At the heart of UAQ lies the UAQ Free Trade Zone, your gateway to unlimited business potential. Strategically located, UAQ FTZ provides seamless access to major trade routes, ports, and international markets. Al Quwain Free Trade Zone is an industrial business hub and one of the designated free zones, assisting entrepreneurs in establishing or expanding their businesses in the UAE. We offer market entry services at market best prices and help you leverage the advantages of cost-effective solutions and strategic economic benefits with friendly customer service, simple and fast registration process, a wide range of business activities to choose from, customizable packages, top-tier services at every step of your business journey. It will just take one day for us to process your license. Our state-of-the-art infrastructure includes pre-built warehouses with easy access loading docks, open eave space, and shell and core design for mezzanine offices that are ideal for storage and manufacturing. Modern executive offices and co-working spaces on flexible lease terms, and staff accommodation housing within the free zone. Our robust infrastructure features a 20-kilometer road network, reliable water supply, uninterrupted electricity service, and essential telephone services to support your business needs. We proudly serve clients from all corners of the globe. We are home to over 100 industries, offering 2,000 plus business activities to choose from, representing 150 plus nationalities, supporting 10,000 plus businesses, and nurturing a 20,000 member business community with operations across 6 continents. We have been recognized globally for our outstanding business development and economic growth contributions. Our strategic partnerships with leading organizations and institutions further enhance our ability to provide top-notch services and support to our business community. Invest smarter with the UAQ Free Trade Zone, where innovation meets opportunity.
So with UAQ Free Zone, the reason why we focus on industrial companies or warehousing space is because we are roughly 40 minutes away from Dubai. So as you go slightly away from Dubai, your real estate costs, your cost of infrastructure and facilities becomes much more economical. So the value what we are able to give startups, small SMEs or large-sized companies is on real estate. Any company manufacturing knows one of their main costs is the facilities that they rent. Initially, they would rent facilities from the government directly, or they could also buy their own piece of land. Now, all over the UAE, as Siby mentioned earlier, there are different free zones. There are roughly around 23, 24 options out there. But not all of them have the opportunity where you can buy or rent a land plot to construct your own factory. So what we are able to give is a long-term contract for people manufacturing, so a 35-year contract or a 50-year contract, a 75-year contract. So this gives a bit of stability to the entrepreneur, to the investor, who is going to invest in his own facility and then access our own port. When a company comes to invest in UAQ, they also have the ability to get incentives from the UAQ government itself. But these incentives are very focused towards manufacturing companies, towards production companies. They're not incentives that is available currently for the digital and the tech space because there are other Emirates who have that option. Dubai has that option, Sharjah has that option, Ajman has that option, Abu Dhabi has that option. So we want to provide an option that's not on the table, and that's the reason why we're focusing towards manufacturing companies and industries. Now, we've discussed on this platform before of the reasons why people would like to set up their company in UAE. But with the most common terms that we get that we hear from our investors is the location that UAE helps is a very ideal location when it comes to exporting to Africa, exporting to Europe. And in recent times, what's been interesting to a lot of customers is something called as a Made in UAE duty exemption certificate. So what this does is the GCC as a whole has certain benefits for companies who manufacture in the UAE, as opposed to companies who manufacture in India. So a lot of our companies coming on board would like to relocate their premises to UAQ to acquire this certificate. Business in the UAE can be done either in the mainland or a free zone. So at UAQ Free Zone, we have a designated free zone, so we have our gated free zone, but you also have the option of investing in the mainland opportunities as well. This is the ruler of the emirate. So the port was set up in 1987. So we are one of the oldest ports that have been established in the UAE. We recently, in 2017, we renamed ourselves to UAQ Free Zone, but before that, it was Sheikh Ahmed bin Rashid Port. So some of the unique benefits of having a company in UAQ is 100%, it's 100% corporate tax free. So what I say that is UAE has recently announced a 9% corporate tax rate. But because we have a designated status with the Federal Tax Authority, you get certain exemptions. So the exemptions, it's a little more technical, but if you manufacture or if you value add more than 40% to the existing goods that you are manufacturing, you can avail of certain tax benefits. And that's why it still mentions 0% corporate tax rate. The options that I already said, so the reason why someone would choose Queen Free Zone as opposed to the other free zones around is as we are 40 minutes away, it gives you a certain value on infrastructure. It's located on the highway, so you don't miss any time in commute. We have our own port, so you can easily ship goods outside the UAE. So we're connected to all the major highways, so this saves a lot of time. Otherwise, a normal commute between, say, if you had a company in Dubai International Airport, and then you had to go to the nearest port, it would still take you 40 minutes, although the route is not that far. But in Queen, because we're connected to the highway directly, we do not have to go through the internal routes. So any location, our own port, you can reach in 20 minutes. So this saves certain logistic costs as well. Our own port is managed professionally by a world-renowned company called Hutchinson Ports. They're available in around 150 locations around the world. They're about 30 minutes, 25 minutes drive from Queen Free Zone. We have access to 2 international airports. So the Dubai airport is 30 minutes drive, and we have Sharjah International Airport, which is 20 minutes drive. So the current structure at Queen Free Zone is we've demarked it into different zones to support certain ancillary industries. So what I mean by this is, for example, we have a company that deals with aviation spare parts. So aviation spare parts is an industry which needs access to a lot of ancillary industries. So the benefit to the investor is they would find those industries which cater to them in the same zone. So this eventually creates a nice network, a robust network, and also it's ease of doing business because everyone's in the same zone. So it's a very free exchange of goods. It limits the custom papers, the gateway in-out papers, a lot of logistics hassles. So this is just an example of the demarcation. All these plots that you see in blue are different zones. So they would be the chemical industry, you would have food and manufacturing, the food and packaging industry, you would have building materials industry, you would have pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals industries. So they're all segregated by different zones. And in this zone, you can only have ancillary components that cater to that industry. We also provide the option of ready-made warehouses. So in case if someone does not wish to initially start their company and build a warehouse immediately, you can lease one of our warehouses where you just have to plug in the water, electricity, get your license, and start your business. Now, one of the benefits of setting up in Queen Free Zone is it is a one-stop shop. So it's the same authority that issues the license. It's the same authority that does your visas. It's the same authority that connects you to an incubator or a mentorship program. It's the same authority that does your environment and climate checks, your municipal approvals, all of that. So in many of the other free zones, what happens is you are referred to another department, or they say, okay, fine, you need to connect with the Ministry of Environment and Climate Control. You need to connect to municipality, which are external bodies. This creates a little bit of, a length in the process, I should say, because when an investor, what we've noticed is when an investor comes on board from another country, the major challenge they have is to connect to different bodies because they're new in the country, they don't know where to go, what is the language. So we give our own PROs, we give our own support staff to help them get these licenses and get the approvals exactly as they need it. We also have on-site labor accommodation. So, for instance, we have factories which employ around 300 to 600 people. All of them stay within close proximity to their offices. So we have a culture which is known as cycle to work. So you have labor accommodations and executive accommodations on the other side as well. So the whole free zone is roughly around 3 square kilometers in length and around 5 square kilometers in width. So we're talking about an expanse space with complete facilities for everything that a company would need. So these are the different types of companies we approve. So you could be a startup founder, you could be an established company in India already who wants to just expand on their businesses, or you could be a branch of a company that's already established. So as I said earlier that we are more industrial focused, it's not that we don't have other businesses, because we are a government itself, so we have to cater to all the types of licenses that wish to establish their company with us. We have totally around 11,000 companies registered with us. Out of them, the majority of them are in the SME category, and then we have around, say, 30% of them which are in the industrial category. So few of the benefits is also that we can help you with your visas as well. So we do residence visas through your company. So it's not a visa where the government sponsors you, but so we do a license for the investor, and through that license they can have a visa as well. But it's the same body, it's the same governing body that does the license and the visa. So there's a flow of the process which makes it much easier for you to communicate with one person rather than different bodies. So the lowest, this is just an example of the different ticket sizes we have, the different packages we have. So the lowest package you could have is US 3699. Now this price here includes your license, your visa, your commercial office for 1 year, and any other formalities you would need for establishing your business. For example, your memorandum, your legal documents, anything of that nature. So for this price, so this is just an indicative price, just so that, because we get asked this question a lot, that's what's the lowest price license that you have. So this is just an example of what it works up to in cost parameters. So we have the majority, the bulk of our investors are from India, naturally, because for Indians, their major market is Europe or the Middle East. So after having an office for many years in India, the next step generally is having an office in the Middle East. We also have clients from Germany and UK. These are mainly companies related to aviation and aviation spare parts, automobile spare parts, and around automation and building automation. So currently, if we had to just divide between different industries that we have, the largest industry we have is still the food processing industries. We have the heavy machinery and the IT sector as well. The IT sector, how we help the IT sector or the industries we have is mainly the outsourced IT solutions that you provide. So the main solutions would always be in Dubai because they have to be there because their clients are around in Dubai. But they have a back office either in India and a supporting back office in Quwain. So as mentioned earlier, that you don't need to deal with different bodies for different governing bodies for your license. We can issue a license from start to finish in 2 days, and the investor does not have to be in UAE. He can be anywhere around the world, and it can be done remotely.